Hi there. My name is Buzz Leer, and I am your host for The Vertical Buzz. This is the podcast where we will talk about the fastest growing format that actually Hollywood thinks is just a phase. So we are talking verticals. If it's shot vertical, if it's streamed vertical, or if it's making all those film schools very uncomfortable, we're going to be talking about it. So are you ready? We're about ready to do this. This is The Vertical Buzz. Sound speeding?
Speeding.
Camera speeding.
Speeding.
Take one on directing vertical films. Are you ready? Action. Hey guys.
Hi, Buzz.
I am so happy to have my guest here today. This is Amber Neukum.
Hi.
All of you, let's give Amber a big applause here.
Hey.
She is one of the premier vertical film directors in all of Hollywood, all of the earth.
That's crazy.
Giving you a big one. But let's get, you know what? I do have to put these on, which I have to do to read. So we want to talk a little bit about Amber's background here. Let's give you a little bio while you're sitting right across from me so that I can do this. So Amber Neukum is an LA-based director, writer, producer, and one of the driving forces behind Juicebox Films, which we're going to talk about. I want to find out about Juicebox Films. And this year, her team proudly premiered their latest project at Sundance, earning Oscar qualifying status. Come on, we're with royalty here.
Oh,
Oscar,
God.
That's pretty good. Amber's films have also been showcased at a lot of different prestigious film festivals. Santa Barbara Film Festival, Palm Springs. I've been to the Palm Springs Film Festival. That's a good one.
Yeah.
Fantastic Fest, Mammoth Film Festival, Holly Shorts, and Cannes American Pavilion. That's pretty cool.
It was a good year.
She started her career, however, let's go back to the beginning of her career. She started her career in public relations before making her foray into acting, which she was working full-time in Atlanta, Georgia. She was an actor down there. She's been in some cool stuff. She gained experience across television, film, commercials, and short films before transitioning behind the camera. And boy, are we ever glad she did. A film school graduate, she brings multifaceted perspective to her work that continues to focus on telling stories about deeply human, eccentric female characters. Amber Neukum, welcome.
Hey, Buzz.
We got all that in.
This is crazy. Who would have thought back at Charlottewood Middle School?
I know. So we got to go ahead. Let's tell that story. We got to tell this story because Amber and I actually go pretty far back.
As far back as you can go.
That's right.
I went to middle school with your daughter, Grace.
I know.
And
that's so wild.
I've told you a million times, but Grace was always so sweetie pie to me from the second I met her. She was always inviting me to her birthday parties in December every year. Was so sweet to everybody. And yeah, I cannot say enough great things about her. I love watching her journey out there in Nashville.
I know.
And then, yeah, I mean, I started doing these verticals and you got cast in one that I did over the summer.
Yeah.
And it was just such a nice reunion. It's so
let's
crazy.
just talk. I have actually been in 3 of Amber's vertical films.
Yes.
And
I've
you
been
shot
lucky.
how many last year?
I directed 7.
Wow. She directed 7 and I was in 3. Almost half. Almost half of your verticals last year.
You sort of are like the go-to, I feel.
Oh, that's good.
Everybody's worked. I mean, you've done 30.
I just booked my 35th.
That is crazy.
I know.
That's great.
Crazy.
You're full-time.
Pretty much. Pretty much full time.
But yeah, you're
It just
exactly who I
depends.
think of, and you're sort of old reliable. I know you're going to come prepared. You're going to be there on time,
Mhm.
and you're just going to be, like a light. And
Yeah, well, that's great.
yeah, easy to direct, fun to work with, and it's nice seeing like someone familiar
Yeah.
from my life.
See, we could sit here for the next hour and do nothing but mutual admiration for each other.
Okay.
That would be great. But it's always great to work on your sets.
Thank
You create an environment that is just so warm, it's
Oh,
friendly,
God.
it's fun. That's the big key. As an actor, when you go on set, I mean, there are those that you take that risk that sometimes,
Sure.
not unlike working at any company that I've ever worked at. You're going to like some of the people and you're not going to like some of the people. But if you like most of them and everybody's creating a fun, happy, safe environment, that's all you can hope for.
Totally. I mean, in this last one that I did is, it's just like the most fun I've ever had.
That's
You were
great.
in that one.
Yes, I was.
You were
Yes, I
there
was.
3 days on set, which was so you were
Yep.
playing our attorney.
I played
slash-
the attorney of the main lead.
Yeah,
guy.
Nolan Heaton's attorney, but
Yes.
you also do forensics.
Yes, I
And
did.
we sort of suspend reality in these stories. So, you can be many different things.
Right.
What was your character's name?
Frank
Hell yeah.
the
And-
lawyer.
And you ate it up, Buzz. You were so good. We
so
have
fun.
so much fun. I mean, and I know on the first one that you and I did together, this medieval,
Oh, that's when I played the priest.
which give him the Oscar, guys. Come on.
I mean, it was just, it's epic.
You were so good. I mean, the costumes were insane.
God.
Thank you, Amazon.
Well, and then that location that we shot at, which had this
A castle.
it literally had a drawbridge, and this is up in the hills, the hills of Hollywood.
It was in my neighborhood, so I loved that shoot.
Yep, because it was
Mostly
close
because I
by.
got to wake up 5 minutes before I had to be there. But yeah, we shot in a castle for 7 days straight.
Oh my gosh.
That was an insane shoot. It was so hard. I think that was my third one I had ever done. So I'm still sort of like learning. And on a lot of these, you don't know the crew
Right.
going in. On that one, I was able to hire quite a few of my friends. But it was one of those verticals where slowly like people would just get like fired in different departments. You've seen that happen.
Oh, yeah.
Where like,
Yep.
you're like, where'd the stunt girl go? And who's that person? And
Yes.
some new person comes in.
Or you're right to the second AD, and they go, "Oh, well, I'm no longer there, so you have to contact this person." It's like, oh,
What the hell is going on? Yeah, that was a lot of that. We had people faint. We were shooting out in the desert on the last day, and I was like, we really got to wrap this up because, yeah.
Well, it was fun. There were a lot of swords and fights and
slow motion drama.
There was all kinds of
horse and carriage, sans horses, because the budget really could only take us so far. So you would just have some guy on the carriage being like, "Whoa," and then there's just like horses off camera. We did have a donkey there at the end, but yeah, I mean that one was so crazy and so fun.
This episode is going to be all about directing vertical films. And so what we're hoping here is that you as listeners and viewers and all that are going to walk away understanding the difference between directing for vertical films and directing for traditional films. How does vertical framing change the way you tell a story?
The frame itself.
Does it? If it doesn't, it doesn't. But
the quick answer is, I think it's just like, it's the different kind of stamina. We're doing 10 pages on a good day.
no kidding.
And on our most nightmarish day, what's the worst you've ever done? Like
18.
Okay, yeah.
Most I ever did was 18.
On our medieval
And that was
one,
a shit show day.
we must have done like a 20-something pager. You might not
Really?
have been there.
Okay,
Yeah,
I don't
mean,
think
we
I
were
was.
so behind every single day. So it's sort of like the night before looking at your next day and being like, how am I going to accomplish this many pages?
And for the viewers, if you're doing like a traditional horizontal film, how many pages would you do?
If it's a short film that, like $100,000 short that you're doing, maybe you're doing 3 pages a day.
Exactly.
Maybe.
And that's been all my experience in regular film as well.
Yeah.
3, 4, 5 pages in
for
a
a
day.
week-long shoot.
Correct.
And if you're doing, like a Christopher Nolan movie, they're on it for a year and maybe they're doing the same page for 10 days, right?
Yeah,
So,
right.
So that's how we're moving so fast. You're not able to really give people sometimes more than a take or two. So people got to be really on it and locked into their characters.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. So
I know as an actor that, it's very great. I'm very grateful on those moments where you do the blocking.
Yeah.
You set the scene, you set the camera, the lights, everything's ready to go, and you roll and you give it a take or two and we're done. And you can just see it in the director's eyes, like your eyes going, thank you for getting that right for this moment.
Yeah, or like the disappointment too,
Correct.
when it's like, God, I'd love to just keep workshopping this for the next 20 minutes, but we can't, and we just have to get standard coverage sometimes. So these different platforms will have a certain way they like things to look, and you need to get, your medium wide, and then you need to get a close up. And then if the script mentions a knife or a touch or something, you have to get an insert of that. Or if there's a stunt, you have to get it from both sides in slow-mo. and you have to get it in normal speed. So we have the sort of like standard coverage you need to get. And they're always like, get that first. If you want to be creative, you can throw something fun in there sort of at the end if you have time. And 9 times out of 10, we don't have time. So
right.
yeah, it's more just how do we make this a smooth and seamless day, an enjoyable day for everybody tomorrow. And not me trying to be like, okay, and then we're gonna do this really creative thing. Because people they just want to get the day done and have it be a joyful day, to be honest.
And that's what you create on your set. That's my experience with working on an Amber Neukum film.
That's really sweet. Thank you, Buzz.
What do you think directors, if this is you don't know, what do directors get wrong?
I never get to see directors work in this space, obviously, because there's never 2 of us in the same room. But I hear stories from other actors. And I think that there can be, I think it's just how people are treated on set. I think that can be whether there are some directors who maybe hide behind monitor. And this is just what I've heard. Okay, guys? Yeah. These are just like the rumor mill.
I can give you some experience on some of this stuff because it's like...
There's some I've heard that kind of shout direction out from behind the monitor. And sometimes, it's not easy for you to be super close to the set, but I really try to be mobile and active. And if I'm these are extremely intense scenes. We're doing like hardcore, like very triggering scenes sometimes for people. And it's like very delicate and like closed sets. You should not be like screaming behind the monitor, a very intimate feedback. So I try to like be as mobile as possible. And also just like being kind to every single person. It's the background, like Brad Pitt started as a background actor, you just never know. And these are people who are just, they're making $110 for 6 hours and they're bringing all their little costumes with them. They just want experience and to meet people and to make friends and to see what this world is like, which is just like the cutest thing on the planet. Yeah. So you should just treat those people with just so much love. And they are bringing texture and life to the scene. And yeah, at the end of the day, yesterday we ended on our 2 background extras, and I really tried to give them as much love, care, and attention as I did the leads for the second to last scene.
Well, that's great. But that's you, Amber. That's you. Nice. I've been on. Listen, I've done, like I said, I've just booked my 35th, so I've been on a lot of these, and there have been good directors and not so good directors. I won't say bad, just not so good. In fact, I was on one vertical where there were co-directors, and that I found to be the worst situation I've ever been in.
Oh my God. Okay.
Because
what happened?
They both had clearly different perspectives on what this was all about.
Yeah.
And you're like, I would do one scene and it would be the one director and they're saying, this is your character and this is what it is. And which, in my own mind as an actor, I've already developed who this guy is and what my backstory is.
Totally.
Because you don't get a whole lot of backstory on these characters. So you get a little bit. But then when I would go shoot the next scene, it was the other director. It was like, wait a minute.
Let's all get on the same page here.
Wait, why do you want me to be that?
Right.
That's not what I was just in 3 minutes ago. Anyway. Sometimes I found to be very conflicting.
There's a lot of cooks in the kitchen.
That's the other thing that happens a lot with these verticals.
Which is the hardest part of this.
When you get these clients and you get some of these platforms that send these EPs in there, an executive producer, and they come on and they start directing, you're like, oh, no. I had one where in fact, it was pretty recent. It was within the last quarter of 25 that I can't even remember the one it was in, but I had just done the rehearsal, just the rehearsal.
Sure.
And we all went back to our number 1 spot. So I go back to 1 and I'm standing on these stairs and I had to go downstairs to get in. And all of a sudden I can feel this person coming up behind me.
Right.
And I look and it's the client. It's the platform, and she goes, when you do that, could you do this and could you do that? And
she's not been there the entire shoot. No, she just kind of like comes in on a little cloud on day
I'm
4.
It was like,
who are you?
What? Yeah, I did. Right. I remember going, I was like, who are you? What is this?
Right.
And she was like, she was telling me what to do. I'm like, my God.
I know that can be very disorienting, very confusing. And it happens I want to say almost on every one, you know? Yeah, I mean, this last one was pretty epic because I have this fantastic producer, Daniel, with Drama Box, and he just lets me do my thing. And it's so appreciated. And the whole cast can feel it. It's like, it's so much more relaxed and everyone just feels so like free to be creative.
And I know just from being on that one, my memory of that was that he thanked me every day that I was there when I left.
Come on.
Which is like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. I mean,
he did that.
He's also like, he's like us, you know, we do these verticals to become better artists.
Right.
And hell yeah, like we're working full time. This is so amazing. We're so lucky. And to
Very
make
lucky.
friends, meet new people, be creative, sharpen our knives. Like you should be showing gratitude to each other and just,
I know.
We're so lucky.
Well, let me ask a couple other questions here. What is something that verticals allow that horizontals do not? Or should it be the reverse question? I don't know.
God, I mean, just for me personally, it's given me so much freedom to have like repetitions as a director. Whereas, you know, maybe I do maybe 4 shorts a year and we're spending a lot of money on it. Maybe it's my money that I'm investing in it and you're getting all your buddies and everybody's like working for free on your special little thing. But on these verticals, I'm doing one of these a month. I get 100 pages that I get practice in directing a sort of low stakes type situation where it's like, you know, I don't even know who these people are that are watching these things, but we love you. And
we got a lot of statistics on that, who they are.
I'm so curious. Yeah, I mean, to me, it's just, I get this beautiful opportunity to have repetitions and to get things wrong. And if it doesn't go the way that I planned, it's not do or die. Like someone's going to edit it and put a funny little sound effect on it and it goes out into the universe and somehow gets like 50 million views. And then we keep coming back and doing it. I don't know how.
And it could go viral.
Yeah. I'm sure. Have you ever been the lead of one?
No.
That's in your future. I can feel it.
I can feel it. But they haven't done leads for older guys. Not that I've, unless you know something, not yet. Not that I know of. They haven't done, not here. Not in LA anymore.
Yeah. They have female, like grandma leads.
Oh, they have had grandma leads? I've never seen a grandpa CEO guy.
Okay.
Lawyer.
I'm going to put a pin in that.
Butler. Yeah, this one that I just booked, I'm going to be Butler Bill.
Okay, cool. Do you have a role that's been for you? Because you do play a big range, whether it's like Butler, you literally played a Butler on mine.
Yep.
And then you played a priest.
Yep.
And then on this last one, you played an attorney.
A lawyer, yep.
So amazing. I mean, how often do we get to do like
no,
this
I know.
range?
I mean, as an actor,
dream.
I've said that I say that to a lot of people. It's like, listen, I could be spending money taking acting classes.
Yeah, scene study, sure.
But this gives me that.
Oh yeah.
I mean, when you get to do a film every month, even if it's 4 or 5 days, that's 4 or 5 days of working on your character, taking notes, listening, being on camera, understanding where am I supposed to be? All the things that you learn in an acting class, I'm getting paid to do, not a whole lot of money, but you get paid a little bit. To be there is better than paying for the class, but you get to be there on camera doing that every day. And it's like, I'm so grateful for that. It's like, my gosh, Hollywood, wake up. This is not a phase, guys.
Yeah.
This is something that's going to be around. Vertical films are real. This is real. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry and growing.
How much now? Do you know?
Well,
I always say 10 billion.
It's close to 10 billion.
You know what's interesting is I'd love to talk to you about just a performance because it's obviously gotten this sort of like bad rep for being soapy, melodrama, heightened, which, you know, sometimes the client really wants that. But I've noticed that on the last couple of sets that I've been on, we've been doing a lot of grounded stuff. And these actors they're bomb non-union actors, you know, who are really delivering these sensational performances. I mean, Erin Orcutt, who I've worked with now 3 times. I mean, this girl can in 3 seconds go from not crying to sobbing tears, and she can give you any emotion you need right now. I mean, and she was deathly ill on this one, and she was still able to deliver. I mean, these are like fantastic actors. And I think there's a lot of stuff you see on TikTok, like the ads sometimes maybe make it look
Right.
like it's worse than it is.
Yeah.
But these actors really take this opportunity to get reps themselves, like repetition in getting to because when you're in acting class, you're doing maybe one class a week, you get your one scene, and these kids are doing 10 pages a day, like 1,000 pages a year.
That's right. How much do the platforms influence your directing?
Yeah. So the one that you and I did, I'm not going to say which one it is, but you and I did one together, and there was no chat about the way I had to shoot it. So we were shooting on these Ronin cameras, and we could really be flexible. The color grading was much more saturated, way closer to my typical style that I like to do in my normal narrative work. And we got to really just be funky with it and daring. And, Angela was really wanting to try fun, different things to make the camera sort of a little bit more just atypical. And then the company that I work with primarily, there is a formula. You meet with them, they talk to you about exactly how if you really want to know, actors can never really be profile in the vertical image.
That's correct.
There's all this data. It's a completely data-driven system and formula, like the vertical platform. So whenever actors are on camera, we need to see both of their eyes. And we do profile if it's more of like an emotional, intimate scene or a big fight. And then all the fight sequences have to be in like slow motion. And they really don't want you to do like Dutch angles. They don't want you to do like a ton of dollies.
What's a Dutch angle?
Like when the camera goes like this. Okay. But those are so fun when you get to, flip things on its head. There's so many things that don't work yet, whether it's cinematic style. Right. They say they don't want things to look good. They want it flat and bright. And they don't want it to feel like you're like watching a
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that I've heard that they're going further into 2026 where we are now and even into 27 is the attempt to the talk is to do more thriller, possibly mystery. It was another one that they wanted to get, that people are talking about getting into, and maybe horror. Which would be real interesting.
And I have some great friends who just started a company, Shara TV. We talked about them.
Yeah, we did.
And you obviously are going to have them.
I worked with
Kylie.
Who's
Candace.
Candace. It's interesting. I was Candace's dad.
Right.
In a very early vertical. This goes back.
She's amazing.
This goes back a couple years.
Another great example of
she's amazing.
A serious actress who can do anything you tell her to do, and she's like so dialed in.
Yeah.
But they're
shooting something right now up in Vancouver.
They just wrapped their first project, and they have something like 13 projects greenlit or something for this year. And they are, so we're hopefully working together at the beginning of the year. And they're not working anywhere in LA because it's so expensive to shoot here. So
I want to get her on here.
You will.
We will get her.
I'll look it up.
We'll get her. We'll get.
But they are passionate.
Shara TV, because they're one of the newer, really cool platforms that's going after this big time.
Well, so they're being really daring and trying to do projects that feel more cinematic, more female, like empowering for women. Obviously, the storylines, like we could talk about that for hours, how they're not exactly empowering for women.
So did you catch that, you guys? We're just giving Shara TV a big plug here that's going to come out. So.
And so they're trying to make more cinematic storytelling happening in the vertical space. And it's interesting because it's like right now, the need for it is there between us, like the people who are making these, like we want to make better stuff.
Right.
As it starts to get into bigger and more like educated groups of people, the desire, we'll start seeing projects, I think, that will look like Severance and will look like,
it will.
Like these big shows that we watch. But I don't know if the need is there right now, but I'm excited for my friends who are like on the forefront of it.
Well, I mean, again, I'm so passionate about this vertical. That's why I'm doing this show, is because I've been passionate about the vertical world for the last couple of years. I mean, I tell that story. The very first vertical I ever shot was shot on iPhones.
Right.
So that's how far this,
people. Yeah.
That's how far this has come over the last. This is just. I'm coming into 3 years.
Sure.
So it's only 3 years is nothing.
Now we're shooting on Reds.
Yes.
Yeah. Totally.
Full fledged. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are full-fledged productions. The first one, there were not even any lights. We were using natural lights and cell phones. Yeah. And it was fun. And
it's a full production. There's like 30 something of us on the crew, just like anything that you would make. And nothing really feels that different about it except for maybe the content and the pages that we're doing.
How do you communicate your vision to your crew in a vertical as a director? How do you do that?
I think it's leading with levity, and it's sort of creating an atmosphere of, guys, we're trying to be collaborative. I want everyone to feel like they are here to have a good time. It's really long hours. We're really tired. And yeah, I think that in terms of the vision, I'm mostly working with my camera and G&E department the closest. And we're just, God, this is such a good question. I don't know how to answer this. How do I communicate my vision to—
Well, my only way, I've overheard your morning meetings before we start a shoot on that day when you're, you have that quick meeting in the
me
morning.
specifically?
Yeah.
Okay, what do you hear?
No, I hear you're like a coach. I mean, it reminds me of a coach giving a pregame talk, so that you're like, because you want to pump them up in the morning. It's like, okay, we got a long day here. We got 12 pages to get through, and this is what we got to stay on task.
I guess you're right. It does feel sort of like, a cheerleading coach or something.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it feels like to me.
Yeah.
It's like I'm that guy sitting in the locker room, and the coach is going, okay, guys, this is the first quarter. We got this going on, and this is and this is who we're playing. So when you give that talk, and it's just fun to see that whole crew, from your DPs to the sound people to everybody, just getting very excited for the day. It's almost like you want to put your hands in and go 1, 2, 3. Go, go team. One of those kind of things.
It's funny. Yeah. I guess I don't know how to answer it because maybe when I'm there, I'm just sort of like in my own head and trying to just like figure it out also as I go along.
Yeah.
So I didn't really know how it was coming across to other people. That's so interesting.
Yeah.
But I mean, one of the most challenging things that you're just doing throughout the day is just like keeping people's excitement up, and it can also be a little distracting because a lot of us become friends. We've worked with each other now on multiple different projects.
How many have you worked with Aldo on? Your first AD? This
is my first one.
Oh, the first one with him. He's great.
Yeah.
He's really great.
This is something that's kind of interesting. Like, I will start a vertical project and I don't know a single person on it. Sometimes I'm not able to even pick my DP. I'm not able to bring. Yeah. So sometimes the producer is just sort of like, here's your crew. And I don't know.
I didn't even know that. That's interesting.
Oh yeah.
So it's like you can't bring your own team.
I've had many this year where I didn't know one single person. So you're sort of, I come in, I'm this 5'10" blonde, sort of like, happy-go-lucky gal.
Well, you're big. Yes, you're tall, but you also have a big presence when you come into a room. Only because you've got energy. That's what it is. It's energy.
Yeah, I try to keep it fun, and people are always just sort of wary. And I imagine they're sort of like, how is she doing this? Like, what's her experience? But I went to film school. I grew up. Even last year I was PAing for free when I quit my full-time assisting gig. I had no plan. I was working for a celebrity as her full-time assistant, and I just was feeling like I did not come here to do this. I need to fully just jump into the abyss and hope to God something catches me. And my parents were like, this is a huge mistake. You have stability right now. And I moved out here from Atlanta to really just be a full-time filmmaker, which is sort of an impossible thing to do. And
it's no different than being a full-time actor. I mean, it was the same thing. And people said, you're going to do this at my age, reinventing myself all over again?
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. And then when I quit, verticals, I didn't even know what they were. And so I was back to square one at 32 years old, just PAing on friends' sets, hoping to God that you would meet one person who would maybe hire you down the line on something. And and then I sort of stumbled into verticals because my friend who I met, we were both PAs on a short film, and she got asked to produce a vertical in January. And so during the fires, I made my first vertical as a producer.
Wow.
And that was wild.
That was the first one you ever?
In January, yeah.
A year.
Yeah.
A year ago now. Right now. That's great. Wow.
And it was like literally trial by fire. We were shooting next to the Palisades. And so we're looking outside and seeing plumes outside. And the environment on that set was pretty wild because and at the time I was so poor, I needed work so badly that all I wanted to do was pack up my apartment and flee LA like everybody else was doing. But they kept the show going because that just was the kind of production that was. And during the shoot, we would have our phone alarms going off every 5 minutes and we'd have to stop rolling because it was telling people to evacuate. It was horrible.
Wow.
Yeah, that was insane. But
I have to do a little bit. I got to do a little bit of sponsorship stuff here.
Love it.
So we're going to do a little bit for the sponsor. We haven't jumped in here. We've been having a good conversation.
Am I doing okay?
Oh, yeah, this is a lot of fun. What do you guys think out there? Are you good? All right. Well, let's talk about I love this sponsor. Let's take a quick pause and clear the air. How does that sound?
So well put.
Does that sound put? So we're going to talk about Aero air purifiers. Aero AC 150 air purifier. It is the most powerful air purifier going right now. It'll clean a room up to 300 square feet, which is a pretty big room. And it won't even ruin a take. It'll be so quiet. We could have it on set. And the sound guy is not even going to know it's there.
You heard the man.
That's how quiet it is. Okay, it's one of those. And the smart sensors that it has allows you to hook it up to your phone. So you can monitor everything right on your phone as to what's going on with your air purifier. It'll even give you the data of what kind of crap is in the air in your house.
Damn, that's good.
Stuff you don't want to know. So, yes, with true HEPA activated carbon, the advanced filtration, the Aero AC 150 keeps your space clean, calm, and ready to roll. How's that? Because the only thing you, Amber, should be breathing in
is money.
Is inspiration. The only thing we need to breathe in, inspiration. There you go. The AC 150, a really wonderful sponsor, and I'm really glad to have them here. We'll shout you out again in a little bit, but there you go.
Yay.
We just cleared the air. So let's go on to history.
Okay.
Because verticals didn't just show up overnight. How did vertical films go from being a mistake? Is that a good question? from starting as a mistake to becoming a legitimate medium?
Yeah, I'm curious what you think. I mean, how it's gone from mistake to...
Well, I mean, I know we talked about the history even on the last episode, but it's, the history of this, the history of verticals, it's not even a 10-year-old industry, basically. It started about 2015.
Okay.
Maybe it's 10,
I didn't even
11.
know they were doing it then.
Well, they were doing it in China.
Sure. Okay.
This all started in China. And
right.
We went into that
Right.
on this last. So they all started in China, and it quickly grew because it started basically as guerrilla filmmaking by all these young kids. They were just out there guerrilla filmmaking on their phones. And then what happened was the pandemic kicked it into high gear. That's where it all started to go, because think about the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
There was no new content being shot. All the studios were shut down. I know I was working in Chicago on a series, shut it down. We were like 3 episodes in, everything shut down.
Right.
So there was no new content. And if you remember, they started running a lot of reruns. They even started putting films back into movie theaters that were reruns, that nobody was producing anything new.
Right.
So these kids were running around the streets of China, guerrilla shooting film. And so they were putting up this content.
I did not know that.
And so people were like, oh, this is new. So they started watching it mainly because it was new content, which was nowhere. And it took from there, it was like, oh, shit, let's go do this in the United States. So that's how it all kind of evolved its way over here. That's the quick version of how it all happened.
Interesting.
Because it started basically as a guerrilla marketing campaign, and it just grew and grew and grew, and people loved watching it. Because like you said, you sit on the train, you sit in your car, you sit in the doctor's office, and you can watch all this, which, I mean, you even refer to it when we're shooting these, which I find to be really interesting. I know this was shifting back to a directorial thing, but when we're shooting these, I always love the fact that we're in the middle of a scene and you'll go, and all the directors do it, pause, because we're pausing at the episode cut.
Right.
So we have to be, because these are, like you say, 100-page scripts, but they're broken down into like 2-minute episodes, 1.5 to 2-minute episodes.
Exactly, 50-something, yeah.
Yeah. So as we're shooting even, you'll all of a sudden get this, hey, I want to be this guy, and it's pause.
Right. And you feel crazy.
And, like,
and I'm always like, and pause.
Pause.
2,
3,
and
4.
Action. Yeah. It's so dramatic.
It is so. It's
so funny though to watch the actors do it. They're just like, they know exactly.
Exactly. But now that I've done this many and I've been around it, I'm really used to it.
Yeah.
It's part of the community of vertical films.
Sure.
As you're shooting, every director is going to tell you to pause at a certain moment, because it's the end of that episode or the beginning of the next.
Right. And we have to keep it super snappy. Like you said, people are sitting on trains watching it. So you have to grab their attention. So there's like the whole paywall. The first 20 episodes have to be the most exciting thing that you've ever directed in your life, and it has to be extremely dynamic. And if someone's bumping into a guy in the hall, I mean, we're getting it from so many different angles. We're getting an insert of their hands touching. We're getting slow-mo of them looking up to each other. And then they're putting these insane sound effects on it, like water droplet sounds. I don't know. Have you ever watched these? Of course you have. Yeah. And you're just like, why are they in the crazy music? Because at a certain point it gets to the paywall, and right as it's leading up to that, it just has to really grab them.
Well, I can't wait to see this last one that we did, where I'm pulling the baby's hair. It's like I've got to pull this baby's hair out. It's
this baby that was just like a sleeping bag. I mean, it was just ridiculous.
Not a real baby. It was not a real baby.
This last one, we had so much fun. It was genuinely the most fun I've ever had, because the day one I go, guys, I think we're going to make a comedy on this one. Let's just, which is, the opposite of the advice that I've been given from producers for the last year, because comedies don't work. But I was like,
well, that's what they say.
That's what they say. But I'm like, if we really just, still fully believing the circumstance, and it's a little heightened and it's so crazy and kooky, but can we have a little bit of fun with it? Can we bring some improv to this? And I hired a lot of friends who were just comedic actors.
Yeah.
And we were, yes, these sets are really intense. Yes, it's long days, but we are like busting up laughing in between a lot of these scenes. It is so much fun. And yeah, we just, on this one, I think that the comedy brought so much texture and life to these. Sometimes, like, my friend Emily played this just straight man character named Mila, who's just supposed to be an assistant gal that carries the story along. And she's such a talented comedic actress that it made it so much more vibrant and fun. At a certain point, you have to, as the director, as the team, as the actors, try to move the needle forward a little bit, because you're not going to be able to change the whole story. But can we take little things that people are saying that are just, it's too demeaning to women, to the characters, like the horrible things that happen to them, the abusive things, emotionally draining. Like, how can we try to just like slowly move the needle forward in a way that doesn't set us back 100 years this year?
Yep.
Trying.
I do know.
Trying, but it's hard. You still want to stay employed. You don't want to like be difficult. You want to be grateful for the work, but especially in my regular life, I've got a female-run production company, and we like to tell empowering stories about eccentric women. And we like to, we're gals from Atlanta, so it's a very diverse city. We like to tell stories about diverse characters.
Is that Juicebox Films?
Yeah, and you don't see like really any diversity in these projects.
No, well, the other one that I know will be a discussion for almost another day, though, is some of the things that are done on these verticals are starting to get noticed. The violence, the hitting, the slapping. There seems to be like an overabundance of that.
Yeah, sometimes you're like, I think it's getting worse.
Yes. And I just know I had one of the lines. I remember when I did last in 25, I literally said in one of my scenes, I had to say, oh, I was talking to another guy that
remember this.
Yeah, that hit somebody. It hit a woman. And I said, oh, who are you? Why would you go around hitting women? I don't hit women, I said, was my line.
Mm-hmm.
3 pages later, I'm slapping my daughter.
You're like, never mind. Actually, I hit women. Yeah.
But I remember even questioning it when I was doing it. I just said to the writer and the director, that I just said 3 pages ago that I don't hit women. And now I'm hitting this woman.
And they're like, it's vertical.
That's what they said. They go, it's okay. It's a vertical, so we can do that.
Yeah, right? And I'm sure
there's a lot
that, not to be like, it's also really hard for men, but like, these intense scenes where the men are doing things that are assault or borderline assault.
Yes.
It's hard for both parties. It's uncomfortable for both parties to be doing this. And we have intimacy coordinators, stunt coordinators. We do, all the things that are right, but still it's tough. The abuse is just, and you talk about it, you're like, why do people like watching it? And why is it predominantly older women, at least in America? I don't know if you know the stats. Yes. What are the stats?
They're like, it's 40 to 50-year-old women.
Midwest.
Yeah, Midwest that are watching. I mean, that's the biggest demographic.
Right. And it's like, well, is it because we also like, trash reality TV where they're getting in cat fights? I'm like, it doesn't really compare to me because what we're doing feels like so much worse. The things that we're saying. And just because we laugh about it in between takes being like, God, that was so crazy. It doesn't make it right.
Doesn't make it right. And there's a lot of discussion going on about that right now. So we'll see where that goes in the writing.
We try to just make little changes every day as best we can.
That's right.
Yeah.
Let me do another shout out to the air purifier guys here. I've got this wonderful sponsor, Aero, and you can find them at aero.co, AEIRO. Kind of a spin on that, but AEIRO.co. They're the most incredible air purifier on the market. We'll clean up up to 300 square foot room, not a problem. You can follow it all on your phone. You get all the data on your phone to follow along with the AC 150 Aero air purifier. They're one of the best air purifiers on the market. You could take them to set. They're so quiet. They operate. You don't even know they're running. It's like following a Prius when they're not. You can't even hear it. It's like, oh shit, there's a car behind me. Well, there you go. The Aero air purifier is just, it's quiet, it's efficient. Check them out, AEIRO.co. Now that people like SAG are thinking about this, which I don't think the SAG group is going to really jump on board anytime soon.
Who knows?
Well, it's an interesting topic because when I've talked to people about it, and I want to try to get somebody from SAG, if anybody's listening, I'd love to get a SAG person on here and talk about the verticals because I think it would be very interesting.
Totally.
But from what I hear about the meetings that they've had is that there's no advantage to these platforms having SAG be involved. The actual pay to actors would go down.
Whoa.
Whoa.
And some of these actors are making more than you would even believe, baby.
Yes, we are. And so I know those numbers. So some of these guys are making a lot of money.
Yeah.
The money would go down.
Cool.
They want SAG to give everybody health insurance. What? So these platforms are like, I'm not going to pay for health insurance. Why would I do that? This is a non-union.
Sounds nice though.
Sounds nice, yeah. No, and I know as an actor, and I am a SAG actor, I'm SAG FICOR, so I can do non-union and union. But, so I look at SAG and think, well, maybe I'll be protected more as an actor. I mean, having to put up with somebody making me sit around for 10 hours, I'd be able to make that phone call to SAG and go, hey, this is fucked up, So anyway, so those things are advantages, but there's way more disadvantages than advantages right now for SAG to get involved. Because if you do a SAG micro budget, they pay way less. There's way less advantages to an actor doing a SAG low budget film.
I've had amazing people come to me being like, we want to make, reality verticals. And you're just kind of like, I don't know. I honor you and your ideas. I don't know.
Well, I did a reality podcast.
Right.
A couple of years ago.
And how was that?
Well, we won 2 Webby Awards for it. So how bad could it have been?
Oh, shit. Okay.
Yeah, we literally won 2 Webby Awards.
That's crazy.
And it was with Lemonada Media.
Wow.
And they did 2 in the series. The series started with being trans.
Okay.
And they had 4 trans people that they followed around and went through their life. It's a very hard series to listen to.
Okay.
Listening to the trans people talk about how difficult their lives can be.
Yeah.
So that was tough. But it was very powerful. It was a very powerful podcast with those 4, Chloe and the rest of it. We got to meet them all because then our series was Being Golden. And they followed 4 older people like myself around. And the whole thing was about us really basically creating new careers beyond being,
it's amazing. How'd they find you?
It was an audition process. It was literally like, we had to go through a whole audition process and they picked 4 of us. It took 4 or 5 months to get cast.
Wow.
And then they put you through all kinds of background checks and all that kind of stuff to make sure you're not nuts. Where's the future of verticals here? Where do you think it's going in the next, and let's just keep it to the next couple of years. I mean, it's obviously growing financially. It's growing in content creation. And we mentioned earlier about the fact that the number I hear is that they're going to be doubling the number of films being shot in LA this coming year of 26. Where do you see it? I mean, are you completely on board? Is this a genre that's going to be around?
All I can say is I've been so just grateful to be working. Like you are, all of our friends. Been amazing to be able to give my buddies who have been out of work in such a tough time in our industry.
Mm-hmm.
There have been projects where I've been able to bring on B camera operators who never get to operate, bring on script supervisors who whatever. People who have been really having tough times, we've been able to full-time staff people. So that's been amazing. I hope that I am able to keep people employed in a more consistent way that just like doesn't make our lives so stressful and freelance. I mean, I had a freelance cameraman dad. His dad was a freelance AD. So I'm third generation, and my dad's sister, my aunt, she's a script supervisor. I've got it's in my blood, this sort of stressful freelance lifestyle, which can be amazing. But so for me personally, I just hope to keep working and learning in the space, meeting new amazing people. I think there's about to be just an insanely fast boom that we don't even fully understand yet. And I feel like the vertical space is just it's moving and evolving so fast, and everybody wants a piece of the pie. And it's hard to imagine how it's going to evolve, but I think it's going to really surprise us. I think that the way that we're doing it right now may be different in a year. And I think that as, some bigger industries find out about this space, the need for it to be more cinematic will happen. And then you're going to have verticals on Netflix and an A24 app and all that stuff. I think.
That's what I read about it, is that even Netflix is doing they'll have a space for all vertical films, is from what I understand.
All I can say is I'm get on the train or get left behind, it sort of feels like.
100%. That's exactly where I am. I mean, I know how passionate I am about this format.
Yeah.
And I see it way beyond just what it is now with these soap opera-like romances that are on here. I think that it's so viable for so many. I would love to see sports done on this. I think it would be freaking amazing.
Totally.
It'd be like, what the hell? And only because the life is on these phones. Everybody this is how I watch stuff. I mean, you just do.
Yeah.
I can turn things and it looks nice, but it's no, if I want to keep scrolling through and watch a minute of this and a minute of that. I mean, all my NFL highlights, MLB, Major League Baseball, football, watch all the highlights. They all come up like this now.
It's true.
I mean,
no, it's true. It's interesting because it's good that you're the one hosting this podcast because you are so passionate about the medium.
Yes, I am.
Yeah, you really are. I mean, not to say that I'm not. I mean, I am. This last one we really played is a rom-com, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm having so much fun sharpening my skills in comedy and in romance. I grew up loving romantic comedies, and that's what raised me. Yeah, totally.
Who doesn't?
So I'm hoping that the stories continue to evolve.
I agree.
I'm hoping that they continue to try to empower us a little bit more. And that, it's hard to see where it's going, but for right now, I'm just I'm on the train. I'm very curious and eager to see where it's going. And I just want to keep working and learning and getting better as a director and learning those hard lessons now so that when I'm getting paid a lot on a big set with Robert Pattinson, I'm not making mistakes.
I don't know if you saw that. I was talking to Jason earlier about it, that I just saw. Did you see the posting that Kim Kardashian is jumping into verticals?
Yeah.
I mean, you get someone of that, who's that visible in the world, to jump into this world. That's going to give it some validity.
I've had people from reality reach out to me because they're interested in the vertical space.
Really?
Yeah. And they want to make reality shows.
I agree with that.
They've got friends at Lifetime and Hallmark and they want to make, And you know what? Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, and that's where I am in it.
Yeah.
And I've said it before. I said it but I talk about it all the time. I just believe that this vertical format is one of these moments in business because it is a business. We're in the business of filmmaking. That's the business that this is. I don't care whether it's retail going to Amazon, which is where all the shopping is done now.
Sure.
It's one of those moments. It's going from horse and buggy to a car. It's like those.
And we all just have to adapt.
We all have to adapt but there are still so many naysayers going, oh, I don't know. I'm a little bit hesitant on it.
Yeah.
So, but that's that way in anything in the world. It's ever been that way.
Totally.
You know, I mean, when people were washing clothes down on the rocks in the river, and then all of a sudden a washing machine showed up. It's like, whoa, wait a minute. You can't throw clothes into a bucket like that. I'm just using, but those are those examples in my brain that go, oh shit, that's where this is going.
Question.
You know, it's one of those moments.
When you say naysayers, like, do you ever get sort of, like, embarrassed is not the right word, but it's sort of, you know, like there's like people who are more like horizontal actors.
Of course.
Yeah. Like, how do you grapple with
I just
that?
say, you know what? You're missing a moment. That's all I tell them. You're missing a moment. You know, what's it going to hurt you to try this? Oh no! But
there were people in the beginning that were like, "You don't want that to go on your
my
IMDb."
My agent told me not to audition for these. Don't do these because you don't want them on your IMDb. You don't want them on there.
Yeah,
well, now I've got 30 freaking films on my IMDb. They're all vertical films, which I'm not. I am very proud of that work. Why wouldn't I be proud of that work? I mean, it's work.
Yeah.
And I'm on camera and I get to say lines and I get to be a real actor.
Totally agree.
On camera.
Yeah.
So what's bad about that? Just because they went from there to there? Come on. I mean, you know, what's the big deal?
Sometimes we'll be on set and, you know, we're vertical all day. And then, you know, the B camera operator will accidentally just put it horizontal for a second. Me and my DP will be like, God, that's good.
Yeah, it's one of the, you go, oh.
That's really nice. You know, but what's nice is sometimes I'll get a month or two off, and maybe it's because I can't find something to do for work because I'm so freelance. And you just take that time to be like, all right, I'm going to dust off that feature that I didn't have time to do last year. And I'm going to spend the summer writing this thing. And so I was able to finish my first feature this year during some downtime. And then, you know, you meet people on set that I'm like, I'd love to have this person who's non-union, like, read for that when I make that movie next year, hopefully. So
exactly. Oh,
yeah,
boy.
get on the train and get left behind, folks.
That's it. Get on this vertical train or you are going to be left in the dust. All right. Well, this has been like, oh my gosh, so much fun having you on here, Amber. And
so
it's just,
nice.
it's one of these, and it's just, I look at my watch and I think, you know, just like that, we're out of time. We're out of time. And I just want a huge thanks to my guest, Amber, an incredible director, as you've already heard throughout the episode here. And I hope that you learned as much about directing a vertical film as I did in hearing Amber's incredible stories. And we just all wish you the best in 2026. I know you're gonna crush it. No matter where you go, you're gonna crush it. I want to do a special shout out to my sponsor, Aero Purifiers, AEIRO.co. Make sure you follow them and follow that purifier. And if you need an air purifier for your house, nothing better than Aero Air Purifiers. And of course, come on, look at where we are. We're right here at the Glendale Podcast Studio. I got to shout out these guys. Glendale Podcast Studio in beautiful downtown Glendale, California. Well, not quite downtown, but we're pretty damn close. And Jason and Erica, our incredible hosts. And you know what? They go beyond being hosts because they're engineers. They are problem solvers. They're bottle washers. They're floor sweepers. They'll bring you water, bring you coffee. They'll do whatever it takes. Basically, they're the glue that holds all this together. And we're in this wonderful studio, so we couldn't do it without you guys. And a big love goes out to our social media director, Anna. She does an incredible job keeping us up on all the socials. And make sure that you follow The Vertical Buzz. You follow us on all the socials. TheVerticalBuzz.com is our website. And then just go to The Vertical Buzz on Instagram, socials, anywhere you can find us. We're going to be there. And most importantly, I just really thank you guys for listening to the podcast. Vertical films are very near and dear to me. If you haven't already figured that out, I'm most passionate about vertical films and where they're going. And hopefully I'll see you next time on the next episode of The Vertical Buzz. But in the meantime, this is a quick reminder that the future of film is in the palm of your hand. It's right there. Thanks for listening. Vertical Buzz. Peace out. Cut.